Good afternoon, everybody. How are you doing on this glorious Monday afternoon? It's Monday the 29th, and I'm passing through Clapham Common. And as you can tell, lockdown is easing because there's so many people out on the common just chilling and enjoying the sun. It's so nice. It's such a beautiful day today. They've been saying it's going to come for a while, and today it's finally arrived. I believe tomorrow's going to be really, really warm, so I want to be out pretty much all day if I can. But this is so cool. Really love it. So, do you notice anything different about the picture quality of this particular vlog? If so, let me know. Because I finally took the big splurge and bought my first ever vlogging camera. All this time I've been doing it on my phone, but I finally invested and got a camera, which I really do like. I got it based off of a review of a vlogger I follow, and he's a videographer by profession. And this was the one I hadn't heard anybody talk about. And he said like he wasn't getting paid for it, he just really liked it. He heard about it, he heard about it, he brought it out to review it, and it's really good as far as he's concerned. So based off his recommendation, I purchased it. So I'm just testing it out today. So I thought I'd do two things. I'll do a catch up and test out my brand new vlogging camera. Well, I feel all professional now. Whew. So let me just catch up with you. Whew. Okay, maybe not here. That's better. Okay, so it was my mum's funeral on the 19th of March, and that went really, really well. It went really well. It was a date that we'd all been dreading, but obviously there's no escaping it. We had to go ahead with this, and all things considered, it went really, really well. It was a bright day like today, but it was a lot colder. Everything went well, bar the streaming. For some reason, the sound was bad. We couldn't figure out what was wrong with the sound. And there's two people working on it, and they couldn't figure it out for the whole service. So it was what it was, unfortunately. People who were streaming in couldn't really hear anything. But we've got our family and friends' backs because there was a videographer there. So once he's edited it, I think he's going to be with us tomorrow. We'll send it out to family and friends who wanted to see the service properly. So we're going to do that. Before I go any further, I want to let you know that my friend Chrissy has got a new single? It's got a new single out. And it's called Slow Down. I heard it a couple of weeks ago and I really, really liked it. So big shout out to Chrissy. I think she's an amazing singer-songwriter. She sang a song that she'd written at my book launch back in 2014. When I first heard it, I fell in love with the song. And I always wanted to use that song some way, somehow. And just turned out it was at my book launch. It was absolutely fantastic. So I know she's a very thoughtful person. I'm a lyricist. I'm into lyrics. I really listen to the lyrics of a song. And she's very thoughtful. She's very, how can I put it? She really thinks about what she's writing. And it comes across. So I'm going to leave her details below in my description box. Click on the link if you want to hear the song for yourself and download it. I think it's on all streaming platforms, so you can get it down to download it on your phone or whatever device you have if you really like it. So that'd be really cool. So as I said, I'm here in Clapham Common, and I don't know if people outside of the UK really know about this case, but there's a lady. When did this happen? I think it happened on the first or second week of March. And she was walking home from a friend's house and she was abducted by an off-duty police officer. Still don't quite know how exactly that happened. And unfortunately, she was killed. And there was this vigil I had here in Clapham Common for her. And it was a massive thing. There were some scuffles between those who wanted to come to the vigil and the police because they were saying, well, COVID regulation still stands, so there shouldn't be any gathering of more than X number of people. But hundreds of people showed up anyway, and they attended. So I'm going to show you now all the flowers that were laid out there because there's loads, tons and tons of flowers. Let me just show you one sec. So this structure here, this red structure here is called a bandstand. I do believe back in the day people's bands used to play here, hence its name. That's quite a focal point. So if you ever wanted to meet anybody here, or if a group of friends are ever going to meet anybody, they say like meet me by the bandstands because it's just such an iconic landmark. So here's the sea of flowers. I'm going to go around, you can see it's a massive sea of flowers for this young lady.
cite it as kill that you have death.
And I think possibly the reason this resonated with so many people, as far as I can tell, is because a number of women, I could be just speculating, but it seems like a number of women have experiences being catcalled or harassed by men on their way home or in social settings or whatever, but they're able to walk away with maybe just like some verbal abuse or, you know, whatever, but they made it out alive. This poor young woman didn't make it out alive. I'm not quite sure what happened.
It would have been extremely easy for them to coerce her or to say.
I haven't heard any more of it in the paper since the guy was arrested. I haven't figured out how to zoom on this thing yet, so bear with me. Just because I didn't mention it, her name was Sarah Everard.
Try to catch up.
And I haven't seen as many flowers since, actually probably since the 7/7 bombings, yeah. So I think that's one of the reasons why it resonates with so many women. It's because they've been there on the verge of whatever it was and like they got away alive. I don't know if this guy was catcalling her or whatever, to be fair. I don't know the circumstances, but some way, somehow, she ended up getting into this, I don't know if she got into this guy's vehicle willingly or somehow he overpowered her and did what, I don't know. But it cost her her life. She's only, what, 35 or something? 33 or 35? So yeah. And someone grabbed my bench, never mind. So yeah, it's sad. I think I'm gonna keep those flowers fresh for a while. Right, now this is another test. I did come down here to vlog, but because the wind was so strong, it destroyed the sound quality. Now I've got this little dead cat mic up here. I want to see, let me know, well I'll see actually as well once I do look over the footage. I'll see if it's able to really snuff out the sounds of the wind. Okay, so, I don't know if you guys caught the, this viral case that was on the internet recently. There's a guy called Derrick Jaxn, and he's gone viral for unfortunately all the wrong reasons. He positioned himself as a relationship guru, and he took a very strong stance against adultery and men cheating on their spouses or their significant others, etc, etc. And he had a lot to say, to give very strong advice, and he'd call out people's names. He was very unsympathetic to their plight when they got caught, etc. Well, it turned out this man was a serial adulterer, is a serial adulterer, and he has had multiple affairs with women whilst married to his wife. And he put up this cringy video, him and his wife, where it seemed like she was almost like held hostage, and he was really holding her hand in a really awkward way. Their body language was so off, and he was trying to say, trying to atone for his thing, what he'd done, and you know, nobody's perfect and blah blah blah. And then he did a reaction video to that video in the third person. Very, very, very strange. The whole thing was just crazy. And he is getting slammed and lampooned left and right. Now, I'm not going to do that. All I'm going to say is there is something about human beings that we don't want to admit when we're wrong. People have this problem admitting when they're wrong. Maybe it's because they don't want people to judge them. Maybe it's because they don't want people to look at them a certain way. I don't know. But this guy made an entire career as a relationship guru and really was challenging men to do better by their women and so on and so forth. So based upon how he's positioned himself, you would think that he was one of those guys who's doing right by his significant other. Not even close. And he was naming names and calling them out. And even one tweeted him, said like, do you remember me? You know, when I was exposed as having an affair, you completely tore me apart, basically how you like it, how do you like it now, you know? And I was just thinking now, it's so weird how some people just make trouble for themselves. There was no reason for him to be calling out people's names. There's no reason for him to even position himself as a relationship guru. If anything, what he should have done when these high-profile people were being exposed as having adulterous relationships, he should have simply come and said, you know what guys, I did exactly the same thing and this is how I got through it. That would have been a lot more honest. He could have positioned himself as somebody who's been there, done that, and wants to help other people who are in a position where they've done the same thing as he's done and they're looking for a way to restore their relationships. That's how he should have positioned himself, but he positioned himself as a moral judge, jury, and executioner of men who did the same thing that he was doing at the time. I can't understand that. I cannot understand why anybody would bother with that kind of thing. Nobody even knew who he was until he kept on making these videos that were very hard line against cheating in relationships, but all the while he was cheating and had cheated in the past. I don't quite understand what the point that is. But I think there is something about, I'm not excusing his behaviour at all. I'm just simply saying I think there is something about there not being enough grace and not enough forgiveness and understanding or willingness to even listen when people mess up. I think Derrick Jaxn is not going to find very much grace because he was so hardline, so militant, and so he just like, it was almost like getting a whiplash, you know what I'm saying, or getting whipped by his tongue, the way he would come across. I don't think he's going to find very much grace because he gave no grace. He's not going to find very much understanding because he gave no understanding. But I think there is something about people where we feel that we have to put on masks in order to be accepted. Who knows, maybe, in his case, I'm not going to go there because his case is a case for a psychologist or a psychiatrist, and I really don't have that qualification. But there is something about people where we want to put on masks to appear to be acceptable in society despite what we may have done. We're so ashamed of what we've done that we feel we can't come out and say what it is. We feel we might not find any kind of understanding or acceptance should we wish to turn our lives around, or should we wish to find help for whatever it is we've done. People think they're not going to find any help or assistance or understanding, which is unfortunate. But even if that is the case, even if that is a situation you find yourself in, please, please, please do not judge another person for doing the same thing that you're doing or for something completely different. Their struggle might not be your struggle, but we're struggling. We all have struggles to a degree, do you know what I'm saying? Whether they're emotional, psychological, or physical, we all have some kind of struggle that we're trying to overcome. If you give grace to people, if you show understanding and kindness and love and patience to people, you are likely to get that back. This particular individual, good luck. I know he ain't gonna find any type of grace, any type of care. He's not gonna find it. He's not gonna find it. Or if he does find it, it's gonna take him a very long time to do so because he was so unfeeling and so uncaring when he came to calling out other people's stuff and just giving them a really hard time. I don't think he's gonna find any grace at all. I think he's gonna find that he's gonna reap what he's sown. The same harsh attitude he had to other people, that's what he's going to get back, and he's been getting that back since it was revealed that he is a serial adulterer. I say all that to say, if somebody is going through something, even if you really have something to say or you have very strong feelings about what it is they've done, tread carefully and don't be in such a hurry to form an opinion or send a tweet or put it on Instagram or whatever. Really hold back on it. Really hold back on it. I find myself challenging myself that way a lot. I must admit, nowadays I seldom have anything to say about what people are doing. I really don't. Because the older you get, the more you realise that we're all flawed, cracked human beings just trying to make it in life. Do you know what I'm saying? We're trying to put ourselves together. We're trying to sort ourselves out. We're trying to do all of that. You know, if we're falling, we're trying to find a way to get back up. We're trying to find a way to get on, dust ourselves off and get on with our lives. We've all done that at some stage. Some you're going to do it again tomorrow and others will do it again tomorrow as well. So we need to learn to be gracious and understanding for those around us who are struggling in some way, shape or form. Don't always feel the need to criticize, to condemn, to judge, mock, or whatever. Really, really, really let that go, because there's going to come a time where you're going to need some understanding, you're going to need some grace, you're going to need some sympathy, you're going to need some people to understand you. And if all you've been sowing and putting out there is judgment and criticism and bitterness, that is what you're going to reap at a time where you really need the opposite. All that to say, give grace to people who are struggling with whatever they're struggling with. We don't know what it is that's caused them to do the things that they're doing. And just, if you can, if you know them personally, just try and find a way for them to get help. But don't judge them. Don't make them feel worse about themselves than they possibly already do. And don't go spreading it about the place that they've done X, Y, Z and cuss them out. Don't do that. Don't do that. It's not so unnecessary. So that's it from me today. I'm loving this camera looks. I really love this camera. I'm more in love with the way, with its design than anything else, but I do love this camera. So I'm gonna make my way home now and edit this vlog and see how it comes out. I hope it comes out well. I will see you again one day this week. I don't know what day, but I will see you again one day this week. So take care of yourself. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share and comment. And I'll speak to you again soon. Bye bye.